Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is William Hindman, and this is Just Force 911, where we look at how our public officials do not do their job. Oh, my God. This one's a little difficult for me. I've tried to do this now for the last 3 hours. You guys have heard me talking about how cops lie, they cover up, they, look into see if they did something wrong, and come back and say, no, we didn't do anything wrong. I don't know. Okay, here's what we got. John Bryant, the civil rights attorney, has a video out where a trooper stopped a guy that was walking on the side of the road for no reason whatsoever. They ended up beating him, tasing him, and killing him. And he did nothing wrong. Okay, now, I am trying to hold my demeanor. Like I said, I've been working at this for 3 hours. This is just making my blood boil. I mean, I've talked about this and talked about this and talked about this. And you guys aren't paying attention. You're not listening. An innocent man was tased and killed by a state trooper. After the lawsuit was finished, the Highway Patrol let the body cam out, the body cam footage out. And the governor about split a, he wasn't happy. Guys, we got to do something, okay? This is getting ridiculous. I'm going to put the video here on in a second. Go over to civil rights attorneys, John Bryant's website, and subscribe to him and hit his bell and like and share button. I don't care if you do it on mine. Oh, God. I don't get it. I don't understand why you people are not outraged. Why you're not going with pitchforks and torches and sickles. I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. All you blue liners, all you bad cops out there, what are you thinking when you take a person's life that's innocent? Your ego is that big that you think you're that good? What a scumbag piece of excrement. And I wish I could say what I wanted to, but they wouldn't let me put it on YouTube if I did. Oh, my God. Now, guys, let's get into the video. We'll talk more about this afterwards. Go to my site, subscribe, hit the like button, share button. I don't care at this point. Oh, my God.
My car, put your hands on your head. Get your hands out of your pocket. Get your hands out of your pocket. Do it now. Get over in front of my car. Get in front of my car.
At around 9 p.m. on February 12th of 2023, a single state trooper responded to reports that an individual was walking along a highway near Martinsburg, West Virginia.
I just got dropped off.
Put your hands on top of your head. Put your hands on top of your head. Do it now. Put your hands on top of your head. Do it now. Put it on your head. Do it now.
That man, 45-year-old Edmund Exline, wasn't alleged to have committed any crime. Yet within minutes, he would be chased, tased multiple times, and beaten. He ended up dying at the scene in part from multiple blunt force injuries and multiple discharges of a taser.
So what did he say when he got out with him? His eyes. It was all in his eyes. And he started digging his hands in his pockets. So initially I drew on him. And then he's gone. It's all right. Man, it's your fault.
The governor was appalled by the footage and ordered the state police to take a second look.
I've seen the video. The video is very, very concerning.
A lawsuit was filed that was just settled a couple of months ago, After the settlement, the body cam footage was released. In response to that body cam footage, the state police said, well, we investigated ourselves and we did nothing wrong. But now the real internal investigation report has been discovered that shows that they were lying, and it shows that this is not this officer's first time. In fact, he is a really bad cop. So you need to see this, and you need to spread the word, spread the footage. As both a content creator and a lawyer, I know that privacy is important, but many people are just completely oblivious to the fact their private data is collected and traded online by shady data brokers. Data brokers create shadow profiles on you that include a frightening amount of personal details. These insights are then used without your knowledge or consent by insurance companies, banks, businesses, and even the government. I use a product called Incogni that not only tracks down the data brokers that have your information, but they also have that information and private data completely removed. It's super easy. Just create the account and you don't have to do anything else. It just sort of works in the background, continuously removing your private data off the interwebs. As of today, Incogni has located my private information with 312 different data brokers, and to date, they have had that data deleted with 260 of these data brokers, with 52 others still in progress. This would be a difficult and lengthy process to attempt, even with my experience and legal expertise. 195 hours of it, to be exact, but I haven't had to do anything. You just set it and forget it. Incogni does it all for you, which is fantastic. So check out Incogni using the link below, or go to incogni.com/civil to get an exclusive 60% off an annual Incogni plan. Now let's get back to the video. On February 12, 2023, just before 10 p.m., West Virginia State Police Trooper Thomas Ellis responded to a stretch of Interstate 81 regarding a call about an intoxicated man walking along the roadway. In the body cam footage, later released by the man's attorney, Trooper Ellis is seen stopping his cruiser in front of this man, Edmund Exline, and immediately just drawing his weapon and shouting at him without even asking a question.
I'm out with this person, 81 southbound. We're going to be approximately 18 and 45. All right, keep it. Stand over here. Stand over here. Stand over here. Get in front of my car.
I'm fine. I just.
Get in front of my car. Put your hands on your head. Get your hands out of your pocket. Get your hands out of your pocket. Do it now.
I was just.
Get over in front of my car. Get in front of my car. Hey, hey, get in front of my car. Put your hands on your head. Get in front of my car. Put your hands on your head.
I didn't do nothing, sir.
Put your hands on top of your head. Turn around, or you're gonna get tased. You are gonna get tased.
I didn't get
Do
tased.
not. Put your hands on top of your head.
I just got dropped off.
Put your hands on top of your head. Put your hands on top of your head. Do it now. Put your hands on top of your head. Do it now.
Wrong.
Put it on your head. Do it now.
I didn't do nothing.
Get up.
I didn't do
Hey,
nothing.
you're gonna get tased. You are gonna get tased.
Here, stop.
Stop
God,
it.
help me.
Stop it. Get
I
on the
didn't
ground.
do nothing.
Get on the
You're
ground.
not arresting me.
Stop.
I didn't do nothing.
Taser, taser, taser.
I got license.
Trooper Ellis's response when he arrived on scene and made contact with Mr. Exline was untrained, inconsistent with West Virginia State Police policy, practice, and training. Now, those aren't my words. That is according to an expert in the 55-page internal investigation report about this incident. It was untrained, inconsistent with state police policy, practice, and training for Trooper Ellis to pull his service weapon and point it at Mr. Exline upon exiting his patrol vehicle for the purpose of the original call dispatched. In the video, Exline tells Trooper Ellis that his car broke down, but as the back and forth yelling continued, Exline becomes visibly frustrated and walks away. Ellis then goes after Exline and he warns that he will tase him. They run across the interstate as Exline attempted to jump the median barrier. Ellis then tased Exline 3 separate times.
Come here, get on. Rodney, send me another unit.
Nothing wrong.
Get on the ground. Do it now.
I'm
Stop.
not doing nothing. Stop.
Get out of the road.
Trooper Ellis calls for backup, and both troopers Abraham Beam and Brandon Mason leave the Martinsburg, West Virginia detachment to go help. On the way to the scene, the dispatcher is unsure of what the troopers are even responding to, other than asking for all units and relaying that Trooper Ellis was in some sort of a fight with a suspect. There was some sort of confusion about whether even this was a shots fired incident. Apparently, Berkeley County 911 dispatch broadcasted to all the officers that this was a possible shots fired assist. Trooper Ellis had Exline pinned to the ground with a fist pressed against his ear when the other troopers arrived. So once backup arrives, Trooper Bean said in later testimony that he came on the scene with the belief that Exline had Ellis's gun and that Ellis had been hurt, which just was not the case. This, according to Trooper Bean's later testimony, is why he then hit Exline with a flashlight and repeatedly punched Mr. Exline.
What do you need? Hey, prod him out, prod him out. Shut the
The video shows Exline getting hit and tased multiple times throughout what's happening, and Trooper Ellis can also be heard telling the troopers to watch their gun belts, claiming that Exline kept grabbing at his gun.
Watch your gun belt. He grabbed my gun belt. Give me your hands. Watch your gun belt. He'll grab your gun.
No, I won't.
Give me your hands.
Okay, let me
Put it behind your back.
I got the left, his right.
Put it behind your back. Watch your gun belt.
I'm gonna break your
gun belt
now.
After troopers on the radio said that Exline was secured and handcuffed, additional officers then responded to the scene from multiple law enforcement agencies, and eventually a group of them attempted to get Exline up. But he was unresponsive and he just fell to the ground. Trooper Bean began CPR, and there were 2 attempts to use Narcan on Exline. Exline was eventually lifted onto a stretcher and put into an ambulance, but it was said on the scene that he had no pulse.
You alright?
I'm good, sir.
He hurt you?
He's trying to grab my gun.
You try to get your gun?
Yeah, he grabbed a taser. He grabbed a taser and started reaching for my gun belt.
Would you just tase him here?
I tased him twice. I was holding him on the ground.
You're good.
I started punching him in the face because, like,
You're good.
I had him on.
You're good. Breathe. Breathe. Breathe.
This guy.
Good. You're good. Go to car, make me
Yeah, we're
throw.
good. We're good.
Go to car,
good.
make me throw.
That internal investigation report from the state police revealed more details about the autopsy for Exline. It said that he did not die from one specific hit or tase, but that he died from multiple blunt force injuries, multiple discharges of a taser, psychiatric illness with agitation, and heart disease. The photographs depict substantial injuries to Mr. Exline's face, as well as numerous taser marks to the subject's torso. Exline's toxicology report showed traces of cannabis and antipsychotic medications. According to what the family told the news media, Exline had schizophrenia. As the other troopers arrive on the scene who are investigating what happened to Mr. Exline, Ellis gives a statement. He said that he had a weird gut feeling that something wasn't normal on his way there, and that he said that on the scene, Exline, after he arrived, gave him a look.
So you just come check on him, call walking down the road, right?
Yeah. And I had my gun. He came toward me. He started putting his hands in his pockets. So I drew my gun.
So what did he say when you got out with him?
His eyes. It was all in his eyes. Bloodshot, watery. He acting erratic.
Okay.
And he started digging his hands in his pockets. So initially I drew on him.
It was during this conversation that the other officers are trying to revive Mr. Exline that one of them says he's gone.
And then, like,
He's gone. It's all right.
man,
It's your fault. You didn't shoot him, did you?
no.
Okay.
But he kept grabbing my gun belt.
Okay.
And
You're good.
but I tased him twice and got hit. I was all in his eyes. He started acting crazy, and then he. No, I'll tell you. Hold on to it.
You can't believe what the crap.
Though the 3 state troopers involved were not criminally charged in Exline's death, in the internal investigation report, all 3 troopers were investigated for violating 2 West Virginia State Police policies: unnecessary force and interfering with the rights and properties of others. The two allegations were sustained against Ellis. However, because troopers Bean and Mason said they were under the impression that Ellis had been shot, the complaints against Bean and Mason were not sustained. This is what the report said. This officer believes Trooper Thomas A. Ellis did not act within the guidelines of the West Virginia State Police use of force policy and procedure. This officer further believes Trooper Ellis's actions were not an objectively reasonable response, resulting in a violation of West Virginia State Policy and Procedure 10-1. According to West Virginia state law, the two offenses are considered Group 3 offenses, meaning that violation of them can result in being discharged by the superintendent of the state police or result in a 30-day suspension. The state police has yet to respond to the news media's request about whether or not Trooper Ellis is even still employed with the West Virginia State Police. Also, the report revealed that Exline's death was not the first incident where Trooper Ellis pulled his gun out unnecessarily, further escalating a situation. There were 3 other instances prior to Exline's death, including a traffic stop and 2 domestic disturbance calls where he drew his weapon without any perceived threat. It was less than a month before the Exline incident on January 27, 2023, that Ellis took his gun out of the holster before even knocking on the door of the house, and he tells an older man inside that he's coming in, to which the man asked for a warrant. Ellis told the man that he didn't need a warrant and not to F with him. Once the man is handcuffed, Ellis then walked through the house with his gun drawn, ordering everyone else in the house to show themselves. In all, he ordered 4 people out of the house at gunpoint. A month prior to that incident, on Christmas Day of 2022, Trooper Ellis had another situation unfold where he drew his weapon on a man who already had his hands up. He then ordered him to get on the ground on his face, which the guy did. Ellis then placed him in handcuffs, and the guy began to yell for help. According to the report, both of those incidents are clear examples of how Trooper Ellis fails to react in an appropriate manner while interacting with citizens during periods of heightened awareness. There was also a traffic stop on September 8th of 2022 when Ellis also drew his gun. The report says that he unnecessarily escalated that encounter, ultimately resulting in minor injuries to the involved citizen. Supposedly, Ellis then received counseling from a Sergeant North, which was supposed to correct his deficiencies. Even though this was from February of 2023, remember the spring and summer of that year is when all of the misconduct allegations emerged in the West Virginia State Police scandal that ended in the superintendent of the state police being replaced. At that time, the governor, Jim Justice, ordered that the new leadership of the state police take a second look at this case. The governor hinted toward him having concerns about it. He said that he'd seen the video and that it was very concerning.
As we continue to follow the fallout of the West Virginia State Police investigation, one of the governor's top priorities for the new Colonel Jack Chambers is to bring in a fresh set of eyes on an internal investigation into the death of a man in Berkeley County.
I've seen the video. The video is very, very concerning.
Even the prior superintendent, who had resigned in the wake of that scandal that was occurring, had expressed his concern on the radio about this very case. He said that the video was not great at all, but the audio concerned him right off the bat, the commands and the screaming. Throughout all of that period of time, the body cam footage was never made public, really until just now. Now, Exline's family filed a lawsuit, and they received a $1 million settlement from the state. And it was actually the lawyer from that case. He is the one who released this body cam footage. And I'll put links to all the body cam footage, which includes all the officers. You can watch all of it. After the lawyer released the body cam footage, the state police released this statement. This is what they said. In reference to the recent release of body cam footage of the I-81 incident, all state troopers were cleared by Federal Department of Justice investigation. A special prosecutor was appointed by the state of West Virginia and presented the incident to a grand jury, and all troopers were cleared from indictment. Administrative and review board investigations were conducted, and all troopers were cleared from any wrongdoing. After careful consideration, the insurance companies, acting within their authority, decided to offer the family a settlement. The state police is saddened by any loss of life that occurs in response to emergency calls for service. Now, I know this is a confusing timeline. How is that possible that we have this state police statement that says we investigated ourselves and we did nothing wrong? Yet we also have this 55-page internal investigation report explaining just how we did something wrong. They were caught in a cover-up here. So the statement that I just read you, that you just looked at, that was from July, whereas the 55-page report was just obtained by the news media pursuant to a FOIA request after they made that statement. So they got caught lying. They got caught in a cover-up, misleading the public. Their own opinion is that excessive force was used by this Trooper Ellis and that the other two troopers were not going to be disciplined because they thought it was a shots fired situation. But Trooper Ellis did everything wrong, and it resulted in this guy's death. Everything I just explained. Then they denied it. And in their denial, they explained just how these cover-ups work. You have a special prosecutor appointed, and the special prosecutor investigates and ultimately makes a decision that he's not going to press charges. He's not going to seek indictments on the troopers. And then they turn around and they call that an investigation being completed or an exoneration, when it's nothing but a cover-up by colleagues who are prosecutors. And here we see exactly how it happens. Even the governor watches this. He's upset by it. The ex-head of the state police watches this and listens to it. He's upset by it. In the end, we get a cover-up. Only the real documents acknowledge that this Trooper Ellis is a bad cop. He was a bad cop before this happened. We have 3 specific instances, and then he was a bad cop when this happened. And they explain in 55 pages exactly the reason. And they think it's secret. Then so they turn around and they tell you, the public, nobody did anything wrong. There was a full investigation and everybody was cleared. And that was a lie. That was an absolute lie. And here we have it documented in black and white. And they even claim that it was the insurance company's decision to pay a $1 million lawsuit. And I've been doing this almost 20 years, and I've never gotten $1 million. Okay, that is the policy limits. They do, trust me. I've had all sorts of egregious cases, including against the state police. Some of them are on YouTube, some of them are not, including deaths. And I've never been able to get $1 million. It's almost impossible. They paid out $1 million here. Means they couldn't even have paid out more. That was their policy limits. That, if that is not an admission of misconduct, I don't know what is. It was an admission of misconduct because this was an egregious case of misconduct that was documented on video and now documented in a publicly available 55-page report. Yet, look at what's happened. No criminal prosecutions because the prosecutors are in on it. No disciplinary actions, no termination. Why? I don't know. Because it's all part of a cover-up. They're circling the wagons. But they weren't counting on that report getting out, and now it's out. Now the taxpayers, the citizens, need to demand accountability from our public servants. After all of the scandal the state police went through, they're back at it. It's crazy. And my last video was on the state police. Do you think they've fired that guy yet? No, I guarantee they have not. They're hoping that you lose interest, but do not lose interest. You can help by sharing this footage, getting the word out. You have to stay on top of this, and I promise you that I will do my part to stay on top of it as well. Remember, our rights don't end where your fear begins. Freedom is scary. Deal with it.
Okay, cover up, lies, exaggerations, mistruths, prosecutors. What do you want, people? Do you want it to fall on your face and wiggle before you understand what's going on? What does it take? You know, if you people do nothing, then you get exactly what you deserve. Time to wake up, America. If you don't, soon you won't have one. I'm done.